Hello everybody, this is Sensei Michael with Falcon 1 Karate. This is our next character talk for this week. This is our second one. Last week we talked about perseverance and the importance of not giving up when things are hard or we run into obstacles along the way, how to kind of keep our fire burning and not go out like we talked about the match. Easy for a match to flare up and go out real quick, but we want to be more like those burning coals that stay hot all night. Okay, and we don't go out when things are hard, like we go through some of our times now. Today, one word that's very much connected with our perseverance. The perseverance to be able to keep going even when things are hard. To be able to have perseverance, we have to be able to do something else too, and that's called have self-discipline. Okay, discipline is the word that we want to think about today. Now, what is discipline? What does it mean? I like to think of it as the freedom to make good choices. Okay? The freedom to make good choices. Now, what is freedom? You know, a lot of times we think about freedom as I can do whatever I want. Okay, I can go do what I want when I want to do it. If I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. I want to get a cookie. I need to be free to go get a cookie if I want to get a cookie. I don't want to do my homework. I want to be free. I'm going to decide not to do my homework. That shows how free I am, that I don't have to do that. I want to go outside and I can run and play and jump and whatever I want. That's what real freedom is, to do whatever I want to do. I'm not free unless I can do what I want to do. Well, I think that's not the best definition of what freedom really is, and some of the times past, especially at the founding of our country, freedom was a big thing. But what they thought of as freedom as the ability to do what is right, okay, to do what we are called to do, to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, or be the best society that we can be the best country that we can be. So that's what freedom, I think, is a better way to think of freedom, instead of I can do whatever I want to do, into I'm able to do what I should do. Okay? So a good example, we just mentioned a few, but I like cookies. Sensei Michael, this is a true story, okay? I like sweets, and so I like cookies, I like ice cream, and just a few days ago, my wife at home baked some cookies for us. Since we're at home, we can't do much. They're just sitting out there in the kitchen. Man, I like those cookies. And every time I'd walk by the kitchen, I'd think, man, I want one of those cookies. And sometimes I would give in to that. I would go get a cookie. And it's not always bad to have a cookie every now and then. But the problem is, if I let that desire of what I want to have some cookies. If I have that desire and I let it go and I don't try to control it a little bit, I'd eat cookies all day long. I'd have them for breakfast and lunch and dinner and plenty in between, okay? Just because they taste real good. I know a lot of you can relate to that. Maybe it's not a cookie, maybe it's ice cream, maybe it's pizza. It could be a lot of things that we really like. It could be playing video games. Okay, that's a big one now. We're at home, we may be doing more of that. Get on our tablet or watch TV. I want to watch TV because that's easy for me to do. That's what I like. Okay, and Sensei Michael's not saying that it's bad for us to do things that we enjoy doing or that give us some pleasure, but we've got to be able to regulate that with our mind, okay? And not just think about always what do I want to do or what do I not want to do, but let's change our mind. If we're going to be disciplined, we have to change how we think about things, and not from what I want or what I don't want, but what is good for me, okay? What is good for me? That should be our main question as we try and become black belts. What is good for me, and what do I need to do to accomplish those things? Okay, that's very important. One way to think about it is our bodies like to react to things, react to things that happens to us. So if I'm sitting in a classroom and I'm supposed to be quiet and I'm listening to the teacher, and a student next to me reaches over and pinches my arm in the middle of class, my body is going to say, ow, that hurts, stop that. And I may even blurt out in the middle of class, ow. Well, the teacher's going to turn around and say, Michael, why did you just yell out? Well, he pinched me, touched me, teacher, it was him. But that's a reaction. Okay, that's something that I do without really thinking about it. It's more of an urge that my body wants to do without me thinking about it. Okay, so we want to think not about reacting. We want to be responding to things that are around us. Okay, and response requires us to think first before we act. Okay, that's very important. Think first before we act. So if that student leans over and pinches me again, I can control that urge with my mind, and I can say, that may hurt, but I'm not going to yell out. I'm going to keep that yell in, and I may just whisper to him, Billy, that hurt. Please don't pinch me again. Okay? And that way, I don't blurt out. I don't get in trouble because I'm interrupting the class. If he does it again, I can raise my hand and quietly ask the teacher, Billy over here, he's pinching me. Can I move? Okay? That's a whole lot better than, ow, why'd you pinch me? Teacher, he did something to me. Okay? That's our reaction of our body. Okay? So let's work on our self-discipline, okay, to be able to respond to things and not just react. So when I walk by the kitchen and I see those cookies, I've got to think, you know what? I already had a cookie today, and I can't keep eating those cookies. If I keep eating those cookies, it's not going to be healthy for me, okay? It's going to be bad for my body. It's going to make me worse at karate because I'm going to get sloppy, and my muscles aren't going to be as strong, okay? So I've got to think, all right, I already had a cookie. I'm not going to have another cookie. I'm going to wait, okay? I'm going to have a good dinner. I'm going to eat some vegetables and have some fruit and eat some good stuff. And that is good for me, okay? That's good for me. And I'm going to eat what's good for me so that I can be a better karate person, okay? Or just be more healthy in my life. And one of the last things that we can think of this as the freedom of discipline, the freedom of self-discipline. Think about breaking a wooden board in karate class, okay? And if you didn't know how to do it, or even if you've been to class and you come up and you say, Sensei Michael, I know you told me how to do it. I know you told me to pull my toes back. I know you told me to pick my knee up and snap. I know you told me to key-eye and to go through this board, but you know what? I don't feel that's letting me be free enough. I want to do it my way. I want to do it my way. Well, that way, maybe again, for somebody who doesn't know, hasn't practiced, or wants to ignore what they've been taught, what could happen if you say, I'm going to be free and I'm going to kick that board however I want. I'm not going to listen to a sensei. I'm not going to do it the way that I've been asked. I'm going to do it whatever I want. Okay? What could happen? You could hurt yourself. Okay? We know that we stub our toes on that board if we don't pull our toes back. We could break a toe. We could miss. We could hit Sensei Michael's fingers and hurt him. We may hit the edge of the board, and some of us, we hit the edge of the board. Sensei's done it before, and it hurts. It stings. Okay, so that's not real freedom. Just to say I want to do it however I want to do it. The freedom of self-discipline is that there's a correct way to do this move, and I've got to submit myself and my body to be able to do it this way. I need to go home and practice picking my knee up. I need to push my foot out to the side and hit with the side of my foot if I'm doing a side kick. I don't need to hit with my toes. If I'm doing a snap kick, I'm going to pull my toes back. If I'm doing a jump kick, I've got to get my legs strong enough so I can switch and jump high enough to break that board. If I don't have the discipline to practice and to practice the correct way, okay, that's not real freedom, because I'm not going to be able to break that board. I'm not free to break that board if I don't know the right way to do it. I'm going to get hurt, or I'm not going to be able to do it, okay? The only way you're going to have the freedom to break that board, okay, or to use the correct self-defense move to become a black belt, or be free to get an A on your math test, okay? Somebody who doesn't study their math questions or their spelling words is not going to be free to get an A on that spelling test because they don't have the knowledge to do it. It's only the person who studies and sits down and reads the words, does the math problems, and learns to do it the correct way that has the freedom, has the ability to get an A on that test. Okay? It's only the karate students who practice at home their strength, their aim, their technique, that are going to be free to break that board, or free to do their self-defense move, or to do their sparring move and spar correctly and win at their point sparring match. Okay, so let's think about that, and let's change our mind to think, instead of freedom as I can do whatever I want, That's not true freedom. Okay, that's a bad definition of freedom. The correct way to think about freedom is that I can make the right choice. I have the ability to control my body, control my mind, to respond, not react, to respond to things that happen, or to do it the right way, so that then I become free to accomplish my goal. And it may take time, okay? I'm not going to be free to break that board on the first day I come to karate, probably, because I don't have the strength or the technique to do it. It takes time and practice. Okay? Only with time and practice can we develop the skills and develop the discipline to then become free to achieve our goal. Okay? So whatever your goal is, think about it as we're at home. We have more time. What is my goal right now? It should be black belt. Okay? If I am a black belt, I want to be a better leader, better strength, better technique in my black belt. Okay? Is my goal to become a doctor one day? You know, we see a lot of doctors and nurses today. Very important. Maybe you want to become a doctor or a nurse. But you've got to think about, I've got to have the discipline to study, to work hard, so then I become free, so that I can become that doctor, I can become that nurse, or whatever it is that I want to be, that black belt. Okay? So thank you all for listening today as we talked about discipline and the freedom of self-discipline, okay? How to respond and not just react, okay? React is without thinking and usually gives us a bad outcome, but respond. We have our discipline, we can control our mind, we can control our body to have a good outcome at the end and be truly free. So thank you again. This is Sensei Michael with Falcon 1 Defense.